Hi everyone, so today I want to look at some, I'm going to look at Annabelle because they have some, at least for me, their new launches. I'm going to start with just my Maybelline concealer. So this is the Age Rewind Erase Dark Circles. So I just find like maybe a little my inner corner. Right now I'm not too bad, but I just feel like it brightens up in there. So now I'm gonna take their loose finishing powder, so Enlightened, and it is blue light protection, and it's their like banana powder. So I don't think I actually have like a banana powder one. And this will be like the first actual setting powder that I've bought. Like other ones come in like sets, or I've gotten them as samples. So I'm just gonna tap some into the lid, swirl it around in my brush, and just kind of set my under eye. I wish it smelled like banana. So far I'm liking it. I'm just gonna go into my Pure Be Your Selfie palette just because I want to add some browns, because I have one of their Bounce eyeshadows, so I just want to kind of carve out my crease. So I'm just gonna go into Natural. And then just with a fluffy eyeshadow brush, I'm going to go into Strong and put that on my lower. Now going into Free, I'm just going to deepen up my outer corner. I think I'm just going to mix it a little with Strong. Going into now their Bounce Shadow, or Bouncy, and this is in Champagne Pop. So I think it's like that, oh dear, mousse texture. So it is a little like sheer, if we can see there. So I'm just going to use my finger to apply. And then I think I'm just going to go into Confidence with a flat eyeshadow brush and just deepen up my outer corner. Just kind of going in with that first blending color. I'm just blending things out, not adding anything, but just using that same first brush to get a little bit of fallout on the eyeshadow. Then I'm just going to sweep it away. And it sweeps away, so yay! And then I'm going to try their Bounce. So this is their body and face. It's definitely like more Vaseline-y than I thought, because like the tester in the store, maybe it's just because My basement's a little cold. Like the tester in the store, it was more like jelly. So I'm just going to kind of dab this on with my finger. And then just kind of dab to blend out with my Velvet Beauty blender. And like, it adds kind of like, it's hard to pick up on camera, I think, but it just adds like a nice kind of finish, I feel. So I'm not mad at this one. It adds almost like that matte glow, right, when you blend it out with that beauty blender. So it is leaving a little bit of a color that's not really mine if I just kind of use my finger. And then just kind of like dabbing over. It just has a nice I don't know, it just has like a nice kind of finish where it's more of that like subtle, it's not like it's melting into my skin, so I'm not mad at that one. I'll see how it holds up. So I'm just going to use my butter blush to keep it kind of drugstore. And then I do just have NYX's butter gloss. And then with my eyeshadows, I wanted to kind of do a test. So I did get a new Lash Paradise versus my old Lash Paradise. So this one's kind of maybe like, it feels like it's drying out. So this is kind of my old one. There's no really bad smell to it, so I think it's still safe to use. So there's with the old mascara, and then with the new. So it's definitely a wetter formula. So I do kind of feel already like the older one just kind of coated things more. There's maybe like a little bit of chunk, right? But nothing like not chunky necessarily. So I feel like I could have kept using that one, I think. And just because I applied a second layer, I'm going to do a second layer with the old. Applying one layer, I think the older one's like just thickened a little, that I can just kind of get away with one layer. With the new one, it does apply better if I'm doing 2 coats. But I think both are still kind of nice out there. So I will check back in later today to see how everything held up. So checking in, so I've had this makeup on for about 12 hours now, give or take. 11-12 hours and that, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. So with the Bouncy eyeshadow, just kind of going in, when I first went in I was like, it's kind of really sheer, you can't really see it, but like it's still on my eyelids, and then like the little swatch that I did is still on my hand, and like I do like properly wash my hands, so it stayed on pretty good, and that, so like when you're swatching it might sheer a little bit, And it's just like an interesting texture. So they call it like bouncy. It is kind of like that mousse-ness. And I think like you can really build up the color. So I think like you can really kind of build it up. I think it is going to be kind of more of like a sheer formula than like really opaque. But it lasts the full day. With their bounce, like I still, like it's kind of like, to me it seems like a coconut oil with kind of like glitter, right? So if we can kind of see, there's a little bit of that. Let me go maybe where I'm whiter. So the more that I kind of like play with it, I think it's just because it's kind of like colder. It is more like a jelly and that, which is kind of like swatching there if we can kind of see that color difference. Right, so it will kind of leave a color on you, which is okay because it kind of acted like blush, and like they wipe away with makeup remover, so it's not like you're stuck with things. So I'm kind of impressed by them because like they lasted a full day. So I'm pretty happy. And then with my banana powder, I don't really notice really any creasing. So again, like I would kind of recommend the Enlighten powder, right? I'm kind of happy with it, to find some of those drugstore ones. And then like the difference between my old and new mascara, like I really can't tell the difference. Like I was thinking like this one's dried out and it's not working as much, but like I really can't tell the difference. It didn't crumble down my face. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to change things up and that, but I definitely think I'm someone who likes my mascara like a little bit on the drier side. But overall, like I'm pretty happy with my drugstore purchases. So I did kind of wait for my mascara to go on sale. So sometimes when you feel like, okay, my mascara is getting old, wait for that sale to replace it because you're probably still okay with it. Unless it's irritating your eye, then definitely change it up. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Bye.